Hello everyone, it's me again, Robert from Frame 316 Media, now powered by Next Story Studios. And I have another video for you, recording from our office in Silicon Valley in California. By the way, thank you everyone who consistently supporting our channel. It has been around for a number of years. We're not that big, but we have been receiving good feedback from some of you who have really benefited from the content that we're creating. And yeah, we are shifting more on a different landscape now as we have transitioned to California to set up our company here. But we're really humbled with the opportunity to share with you and to be part of your journey in becoming better storytellers as an entrepreneur. So today's video, I have something really interesting to discuss. I'm going to be talking about websites. We are in the last quarter of 2024, and it has been an ongoing debate in the online space if is it really worth it to still have a website in 2025, with everything that we have right now with AI, with how social media is. And yeah, so I'm gonna try to answer that to the best of my ability. Again, this is going to be my opinion based on my experience and the work that we do, especially for my company. And I hope it helps you in a way in that decision making process if you're starting, how much resources you're willing to invest in terms of having a website. So let's jump in. Okay, the $1,000,000 question: is it still worth having a website in 2025? Yes or no? So if you have an idea, put it in the comment section below, and let's have a healthy conversation. No fighting, okay? Kids, no fighting. Okay, before I specifically give you my yes or no answer, let me just talk about some things about website design, web development, or having a website as a small company. Okay, with the rise of online platforms like social media, Amazon, Etsy, even Adobe has its own platform, you might tell yourself, nah, I don't really need a website anymore. Just log in to an account, a platform, pay a minimum monthly, fee. Then I have, technically it's still a website, but the question is, is it still worth it that you build, that you have your own website as a company? And for a lot of people, it makes sense to just be on Amazon. Just sell your stuff on Amazon, especially if you're a product-based brand, and sell your designs on a different platform. Print T-shirts with ready-made T-shirt printing that would also cover for your, delivering those T-shirts to your customers. But yeah, that's one thing to consider. The rise of these different online platforms. But just a bit of a background. Just want to quickly jump into this because, as you all know, I'm involved with a lot of storytelling stuff, marketing stuff, video, media, graphics. But I started when I was in college. I started as a web developer. I say it with a cringe. That was like the late 1990s. Hey, WordPress developers, Wix developers, designers right now. We started building our own websites by coding on Notepad and figuring out how to upload it in there are shady web hosting that don't even exist right now. So we code it on Notepad and we upload it. That's how we've done it in the past. No help whatsoever like what you have in WordPress right now. But we enjoyed it. Those were exciting times. That's why I keep telling my students, when I get the chance, you should have been in my generation. I mean, if you are having a headache with WordPress and you want to give up, try Notepad. you know, I remember when we were coding websites in Notepad, the most tedious part is tab, pressing the tab on your keyboard because you want those codes to be aligned because it helps you have a bit of a structure where you are when it comes to your code. But anyway, having said that, the rise of these online platforms has made it easy for everyone to not have their own website. That's something to consider, and that might help you come up with your own yes or no at the end of this video if it's still worth having your own website. Okay, let me now talk about the downsides of maintaining a website. First and foremost, there's a cost attached to it. When you maintain your own website, let's say you get a domain and a web hosting on SiteGround, that could be an easy $20 to $30 a month that you have to spend. And it's just imagine you're renting a house. Whatever you have to do in your house, that's a different cost. But just to have a house so that you can do stuff inside that house, it's another cost. So, when you maintain a website, you pay about $30, $20 to $30 a month for the web hosting and the web domain. But if you want to have, some web hosting have free SSL. Definitely your website should have an SSL certificate. But some would require like scanners. So that your website would be regularly scanned and make sure that it's safe for browsers to visit your website. The part of the cost is of maintaining a website. If you're consistently writing blogs, you need to find photos for your blogs. You need to find photos to upload on your website. There are free stock photo websites out there, but it's not really good. You have very limited options. So you may end up, let's say, Freepik is something that I can think of that is quite more on the affordable side. About, I think, less than $20, you would have Freepik, would have access to videos and photos and graphics and all those stuff. And where, that's $50 a month, right? So yeah, you have to be prepared at least probably maximum $100 a month to spend if you have your own website. So that's one downside, which is the cost. Another one is the time and effort, because it's either you manage it on your own, although you would say I'm not paying anyone, but remember, as an entrepreneur, there's always a dollar value attached to your time. So when you manage your own website, that is money that's technically being spent, or you can hire someone, which again is money or effort that has to be spent from your end. So that's another downside when you maintain your own website. Lastly, the competing platforms, the competition. Why I say competition? Because you definitely want a website and you want an audience for your website. But when you compete against TikTok, compete against Instagram, which they have their own set of audiences already in that platform, that's going to be a bit difficult. So that's another downside. But having said that, there is a strategy that you can come up with to make both of them work for you. Having a presence on social media and having your own website. So that's the downside that I can think of. Now let me talk about the benefits of having your own website. I think the most important benefit of having your own website is ownership and control. When you're paying a web hosting, when you're paying a web domain, and all the contents on your website, you practically own it. You get to decide when to shut down your website. You get to decide when to update your website. You practically get to decide everything that you want to do. But if you completely depend on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what else? YouTube probably as well. But the thing is, you don't own it. I mean, you own the content, but you don't have full control. Let's say Facebook decided to charge for every media that you upload. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna protest on the street? Are you gonna complain? That's not practically any of us can do, right? But if you have your own website, keep uploading whatever you want. As long as you have that website there, you can direct your clients, your audience to your website. Find different strategies, share it, to everyone by email. Email would stay, by text or whatever. But you get the point. You are on borrowed space, not on borrowed. You're on borrowed space when you completely depend on social media channels and other online platforms. Another benefit is credibility. As a company, having a website adds that specific layer of credibility to your brand. That makes you not look like a fly-by-night company, because if you don't have a website, most likely your email when you do business transaction is Gmail. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but in terms of credibility, if you are a web designer selling a service to build website, and then you don't have your own website, right? That's gonna be tricky in terms of the credibility. Okay, another one, SEO and organic growth. That has like a more long-term impact if you have your own website. Again, because you own the website, you have full control over it. So your small business would appear in Google search on the long term if you have a website. You don't necessarily have to always do Google ads. If you figure out a way to properly create optimized blog, then that would be it. That would help you. Another benefit is you have a central hub of information. It's not all over the place. So when someone asks you, hey, can I have some information about your website? If you're only on Facebook, you're going to figure out, when did I post that? I have it somewhere, like 8 months ago. But, if you have a website and someone would ask you, can you give me something that I can look at or read so that I would understand what your business is doing? Send them your website. That's it. It's all there and it's easily accessible for them. Last, for e-commerce opportunities, if you're a more product-focused company, you can easily integrate e-commerce on your own website. Bring in like payment gateways. Of course, there are fees for that, but again, it's in your website and you have a lot of freedom to sell whatever stuff you want to sell as long as it's legal. That will help you a lot. So, social media versus website, as we close this video, what would help small business owners? My answer is both. As long as social media platforms allow us to use their platforms, we have to be on social media because there are people on social media, our target audience are on social media, but you definitely have to have your own website. So my answer is yes. Website, it's still worth having your own website in 2025. That's a big yes. And you would come across different layers of challenges, but it's not like we're in the 90s. As I've mentioned, I started building websites in the late 90s. It just takes, a bit of time to do research. What is the best way that, the best direction that you can take that will work for you. But definitely having a website is something that you need to be in your list. As a small business owner, especially if you're starting, especially if you plan to launch in 2025, never ever underestimate the power of having a website in terms of growing your business. Okay, so there you go. That's my short video about is it still worth having a website in 2025? I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope this has been helpful to you. And if you find this valuable, please help and share, like, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Again, thank you for watching. This is Robert from Frame 316 Media, now powered by Next Story Studios.